Yo, JD here, and as you can see, we are back on F1 22, and in today's video, we are going to be discussing the latest patch in the F1 22 game, like I do with all my patch videos, but this one here has a particularly big headline, which is actually a new game mode, and it is called Elimination. And in this video we'll be discussing it, what my thoughts are on this, and as always whenever I do these types of videos, it's really to hopefully get a clear image of what the community thinks. What do you think about this latest patch, and really what do you think about how the game currently sits in its current state after 6 months of release? Are you happy of where we are? Are you unhappy? Whatever your thoughts are, please post it down below. But in a nutshell, this new game mode is where you pretty much have to survive. So every 30 to 40 seconds, the driver in last place gets eliminated. So they're kind of going for, you know, like a Fall Guys kind of thing, or Battle Royale, because those kind of games are very, very popular at the moment. And a few things I noticed in this game mode straight away is, number one, that you couldn't actually set up a private lobby and choose this yourself. You are automatically placed in lobby, so you have to click into the game mode button itself, and what happens is that the lobby fills up very quickly, which doesn't really give you much of an opportunity to invite your friends. The settings also consist of fixed setups, reduced damage, and the inability to use the official F1 22 cars, which could be down to a licensing issue. The grids are also randomized, as are the tracks, and the weather is set to clear and realistic. And I think you could see straight away what kind of experience you're going to get in these releases. And no, let me get this straight. I don't always want to be negative. Hopefully these videos doesn't come across as me ranting, because I want to be as constructive as I can. If there's things I enjoy, I will definitely talk about it, because recently I have been enjoying this game a little bit more after playing some other games such as iRacing, Assetto Corsa. It's actually quite good to come back on this and feel a little bit more refreshed. And the first thing I'll say is that I commend Codemasters for actually adding something different to the multiplayer experience, and I know a lot of people are really going to enjoy this, and it's just a new thing to do on the game itself. But a few things to make this game mode instantly better, in my opinion, is to allow setups, allow strict corner cutting, because the corner cutting is not on strict. You don't get a penalty for cutting any corners, for taking people out or anything at all, which is why I think the driving here is a little bit chaotic. There is no penalty for being dirty, and you pretty much just want to survive. So allow the strict corner cutting, and I would also say turning off the damage as well, because you really want to reward drivers who are more skilled and who are going to be driving a bit cleaner as well. And you can also see in the middle of the screen, I don't know if that's something you could change in the display settings, but yeah, I don't know if they tested that when they released this, but it's very, very off-putting, and you can't see the apex when people get eliminated. But maybe that's something you can actually change. I haven't even looked into that myself yet. But as I said, in this video, I'm trying not to rant, be as constructive as I can, and again, it's just about hearing what the community feels about this and the game's condition after 6 months from release. But yeah, starting off with the positive like I did, nice to see something new. But if I'm being completely honest, and this is not because I've been frustrated with the game myself, it's just really what I feel at this moment in time, is the addition of this in a patch of a brand new game mode at this feels a bit more of a gimmick and kind of a strategy to keep players interested in the game. Because now, even if you haven't been watching my channel, I've been speaking to many other drivers and even other content creators, And there's no secret that a lot of people have been feeling very burnt out and quite frustrated with the game. One of the main reasons is that it always seems to be the main issues are either completely ignored or they just take so long to be addressed, and every patch now just seems to be that the very small visual bugs are the main focus, such as the Alfa Romeo's left mirror being in the wrong material, or the droplet effect of the Alpine isn't quite correct in the rain, rather than real issues such as the formation lap and the safety car still being broken. No, even in just my latest league race, at the start of the race, the formation lap, the safety car just came out straight away, and that's the reason why we don't have it in esports. We don't have a formation lap, we don't have the safety car, which would add so much more to the experience as well. But one thing I do commend is, things such as the revving spectator glitch is fixed, supposedly. But again, this has been around for years. For 3 or 4 years we've had this glitch. And it even affects the experience when you're watching F1 esports, which, is going to be a big deal to a company such as Codemasters and esports, because so many people have complained about it for so long. Why is it taking years for that to be fixed, but then other small meaningless things which aren't really going to affect the experience too much, why are they the focus? Let me know what you think about that. So yeah, I feel in my gut that Codemasters are slowly starting to feel this pressure from the community, and I think that's what needs to happen. There needs to be more pressure from the community, otherwise things just don't get changed or anything at all. And perhaps releasing this unexpected game mode is a way to help, soften the blows and kind of keep people interested in the game itself. With creators who do receive early access, it's very much in their interest to be very positive about this. And don't get me wrong again, I think having this introduced certainly isn't a bad thing, and I think I can have fun with this, and I think many other people can have fun with it. But it still feels like it's just papering over the cracks, and the real issues are continuously being not addressed. And that's why I feel games such as iRacing, that has such an active player base, which I've just been introduced to, those issues are focused on and fixed, and the community is actually listened to. And I think that's the biggest thing with Codemasters and now EA, especially for next year, is the community's needs aren't addressed, and it kind of feels like it's more about the game looking good and marketed to look really good than actually being good. And don't get me wrong, iRacing has its flaws as well, but in the long run I believe the community is actually listened to, and I think that's key for a gaming series, or especially a company who's making the game. The key to their longevity is to actually listen to the community. So again, I think for this game mode, I can definitely see it being fun, especially if they allow setup, strict corner cutting, turning off the damage, because right now with the fixed setups, it just makes the handling experience not really satisfying at all. With the damage as well, makes it very chaotic, kind of promotes a lot of dirty driving in my opinion, especially with the corner cutting not being on strict as well, where you're not getting punished for taking people out, cutting the corners or anything. It's a very much just a survival at all costs. And yeah, I just feel, that's just really just my honest opinion. I just feel it's more of a way to keep people happy than actually fixing the issues at hand, because I think to have a good online experience, it should be awarding drivers who are looking to improve their skill set the more experience, giving an incentive like iRacing does. And I said it in a video recently, I think the rank system in here could be done so much better, where you actually get rewards and you can showcase it online. You get more added features to the game. The cleaner you are, the higher skill set you have, it would give you so much more of an incentive to be clean and to be the best that you possibly can. Because I feel this game mode here, it could be fun for a short period, but is it really gonna satisfy the needs of the community? And I feel I kind of fear that it could become old fairly quickly itself. But those are really just my opinions. Feel free to put down what you think. And I know, again, there's going to be many people who will absolutely love this, so they'll think it's a really good thing to do, which, no, the more the better. But I think actually addressing the fundamental issues of the game, which is why I've been frustrated for such a long time now. Codemasters have had access to this game for so long, and the community is absolutely huge. They have more than enough feedback to actually see what people want, and I think if you fix those fundamentals and the actual issues with the game itself, that's just going to make people so much happier playing it, and happier people playing it makes them come back, makes them tell other people that it's a good experience as well. And yeah, no, even things like this right on my screen right now, no, there just needs to be a lot more testing as well. I just feel like a lot of these games nowadays are just not tested properly, and they just expect a patch to fix it, where you spend a little bit more time just trying to perfect the product as much as you can. I think the community will definitely appreciate that much more. But please let me know what your thoughts are on this patch. Are you happy with it? And what your thoughts are with the game in its current life cycle itself? After 6 months, do you think it's exceeded expectations, or do you think it needs to be much further ahead than it currently is? But you can see this race here. We did have fun. We just avoided the carnage at the beginning of this, because you can see the damage is on. Tyre wear isn't on as well, because obviously you have to do many laps on a soft tyre. You can't change the setup, you can't change the tyre compound, and no, if you receive damage in the first few corners, then you have absolutely no chance of winning in this event at all. And I think even if you get taken out, you just get eliminated straight away as well. So there's literally no room for error here. And I can kind of see where they're going with this. Like I said, like a survival, battle royale, Fall Guys kind of thing. But is this what the game really needs right now? And you'll see a bit later in this video, a lot of people have been having issues connecting to this in the first place. And I think the online experience needs to be fixed first before adding features. And like I said, I think it's, for me, it's kind of the feeling of paping over in the cracks, where the whole window needs to be replaced because sooner or later those leaks will come through again. And I've said it many times before, I think we just need a completely new game engine, and whatever it takes to do that, I think definitely needs to be put into action, because despite the sport growing and new players coming in here, I've spoken to so many drivers who, this is their first ever F1 game, and they really enjoyed it at first, but they're not feeling that confident to come back to it again in the future. And even looking at these patch notes here, when they're not even spelt correctly, that doesn't really give you that much confidence. But I want nothing more than to be proved wrong. I want these games to succeed because I've been playing them for so long, and that's why I have been going over to other games recently, such as iRacing, just to enjoy something else, because I think a lot of people are starting to do that. And yeah, I just really hope that we get something different next year, where it's just a completely brand new experience. But you can see I've actually made my way back up to second place, just trying to be clean. Going down the inside of this Ferrari, and now it's going to potentially go through into here, so he's trying to drive into me just that little bit. And yeah, you can see we've got 4 seconds to go, so I was thinking back down the inside, but what does he do here? Just go straight on, and now he's actually won and I've been eliminated. So yeah, that was my very brief experience playing this. It was fairly fun, but I don't know if I'll see myself doing this on a day-to-day basis, because I think, unless these settings are changed, I think it could be a much more satisfying experience if you do allow the setup, strict corner cutting, turning off the damage. I did try another one at Baku here, but you're about to see what happens. So as the lights go out, again, we're just going to try and be as clean as we possibly can. So let the carnage kind of unfold by itself. You can see that guy, his race is already over. Most of these guys' races are already over as well. So up into P16. Just gonna let these cars go ahead and yeah, just try to survive. So up into P13 now, which is pretty good. No damage on board just yet. But as we come through into turn 3, just try to get through this nice and safely. As we come into it, yeah, that is our race over. And yeah, that is our experience over as well. But please let me know what your thoughts are on this game mode, this patch, the current game of how it is. I'll be catching you very, very soon. Thank you so much for supporting the channel. See you there. Peace.